I'm trying to think. I know there's GameCube. They really like opened up variety, and there was a lot more. I mentioned the Star Fox game that I played on there, and then let me think.
I'm trying to think what else.
There was another Pokemon Stadium that was out on that.
Pokemon Coliseum,
and that's when you throw
that was
out
where
the
you
whale
caught
lord.
the shadow Pokemon.
Yeah, I only played that.
It was cool. It was a cool concept. You automatically started off with Espeon and Umbreon. Mm-hmm. But I was just like...
And every battle had to be a double battle, though, because you started out with 2.
Oh,
that was weird.
For the GameCube, me and Ben probably had this shared. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That was fun. I wonder if there was... I don't remember if there was co-op or not of that. If there is, I definitely want to do that with Ben one day.
Much GameCube, though.
So, like, Crystal Chronicles was interesting because, like, you're... not only are you fighting things, but you're constantly, like... In a way, it's kind of got that Kingdom Hearts aspect. Mm-hmm. By the way, that's GameCube, right?
No, Kingdom Hearts was only PlayStation.
Only PlayStation? No, you're right. You're right.
Up until recently.
And, so, anyways, you're casting magic while also fighting stuff, and you're also, like, there's this, like, a miasma that's around an area, and you can only travel in the areas that you're carrying this, like, a cleansing aura thing. And the idea is to bring this thing throughout the entire level, so that way you can cure the whole area. And you have to constantly do that. And you're upgrading your weapons and your armor and stuff like that, and the different kinds of enemies and stuff that you fight. You also can customize your guy as well, which is pretty cool too.
Also, one of my favorite games of all time, Super Mario Baseball.
Yeah. When was Strikers?
Strikers was also GameCube. They did come out with one for the Wii.
I think I like the original one on
the Super Mario Baseball. They tried to make one for the Wii and it wasn't as good. They need to make one for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Why was it not as good?
Because you actually had to swing. It was like you had to be like active with it, and I don't know. Mm-hmm. Super Mario Strikers on Wii was actually pretty good. You didn't have to like actually move around for that, but. When you're playing that kind of game with friends...
It's like Overcharge or something like that.
Yeah, you don't want to have to do that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the Wii's downfall, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot of its downfall also, it was its saving grace. Mm-hmm. A lot of people who use it didn't want to actually move when they're playing video games.
Right.
But it actually has helped people, because I know we've talked about how the Wii is used in retirement homes with Just Dance and all this other stuff.
Right.
In order for physical therapy.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the E3 podcast. It was like episode 2.
Yeah, but it's just that kind of thing. So the Super Mario Baseball, you had exhibition mode, but I mean each character, because it's Mario, they all had their special pitches, they all had their special hits. It was actually really cool.
And then Mario parties were always big for all the Nintendo
across all consoles. Yeah.
Right. And I think they made a Smash for every console.
Every console.
Yep.
Yeah.
For Wii, they made 2.
Well,
sort of.
Smash 4 was for Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
was kind of
not
too
many people cared for, but they also liked certain characters that came out for that. Let me see. GameCube. Double Dash was pretty cool, which we talked about,
Sunshine.
Super Mario Sunshine.
Super Mario Sunshine.
I still need to play through that. I would do a playthrough for that.
Okay.
That's Super Mario Sunshine was cool. I think my favorite levels out of the Super Mario Sunshine were the ones where you lose your
when you lose FLUDD. Yeah.
And you had to do like the actual they're platforms that move and twist like in different directions and stuff like that, and you're trying to just jump there because like the whole game you become dependent on FLUDD, which is the water pack, and to suddenly have FLUDD been taken away and like you have to do some old school Mario like jumping, you're like, damn, this is freaking hard. And I hate platformers because like I'm not good at them at all.
I personally, it might be silly, but I just like going around and like cleaning all the goop. Like especially at the starting levels, like Delfino Plaza, like when you first go in and there's just like the whole floor is covered. Mm-hmm. I just like going and cleaning every single little inch of it.
I think the biggest pain I ever had in that game was going to that beach and having to get rid of that giant manta ray.
Oh, and that kept splitting.
Yeah, and then there'd be like this one, because like, yeah, it's like this big manta ray boss.
Yeah.
Right? And every time you would defeat it, it would split off into smaller ones. So it kept dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing. And it get these little tiny ones that are going around everywhere. But like you get towards the very end, and you're like, in order to beat the level, you need to get rid of all the goo, and kill the last one. Mm-hmm. And like you're like looking forever to find this because it'll be in like some janky little corner or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
I remember being really frustrated after you beat the manta ray, after going into that hotel.
Oh yeah.
There was one that you had to like make your way through the vent system
mm-hmm.
to try to, and you had to go through the vent system. You had to access a lot of secret doors.
Mm-hmm.
You just like jump through walls.
Was that the ghost one too?
That was, I think, no. That was the same place, but a different shop.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it was like the same area.
Yeah, but I remember being frustrated not being able to find my way through the vents. Just like, please.
Some levels you're just like, there's a door right there. Why won't it open?
But no, I know what you were talking about too. You had to play like the slot machine
mm-hmm.
to get that King Boo.
Yeah, that whole area was just horrible.
Yeah.
And I also did like the aspect in Sunshine that the more stars that you get, like the town eventually gets brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yeah.
And that even the big sunshine in the middle would eventually become fully lit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed stuff like that. Other GameCube. Can you guys think of any others? I know there's always going to be others that we're not going to think of.
There's always ones that we missed.
So.
Oh, the OG Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that when that comes out for the Switch.
It's going to be lit. 8-player villages, 8-player islands, I should say.
Yeah.
I probably will end up getting it too. I've never played an Animal Crossing.
I think there's one that's like on the tip of my tongue that I just can't think of right now. I'm gonna have to let it go. I'm gonna think of it later and be like,
oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up like later tonight and be like, Animal Crossing. The Spider-Man game that was on the GameCube.
Spider-Man Ultimate, yeah.
That it wasn't Ultimate, was it? Was that the one where you fought the Green Goblin up in the air?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. And then eventually you get to play as the Green Goblin, like after you beat the whole game and all sorts of other stuff.
Oh, maybe that's not the one I'm thinking of.
No?
I was thinking about the one where you could play as Venom and Spider-Man.
Yeah, so they're different. So there was a Spider-Man that came out. It was based on the movie, except the Green Goblin that you fight is not Norman, but it's actually Harry Osborn. But it looks exactly like the Green Goblin that was in the one
Tobey Maguire.
With Tobey Maguire in it. So instead of having Norman, it's actually Harry. So I think that game is actually based on that, and that had like a lot of web slinging and stuff like that, which I enjoy. The newest Spider-Man is awesome. That'd be a good game for you guys to play.
Yeah.
Because I let you guys play that a little bit.
I enjoyed playing it.
So that was, I think that was one of the main ones that was on the tip of my tongue that I just couldn't get out.
Yeah.
One of my earliest games wasn't actually even on a console.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I was talking about that I know he's played, but I don't think that he's actually.
What is this?
Put on RuneScape.
Yes!
That's it. It's on my
list. I was about to say, it's on my list. RuneScape is on my list because...
That is stretching towards computers.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that was one of the only games that I have ever played on a computer up until quite recently, actually. That one was just a big part of my childhood because I used to get on there with a bunch of friends and we just crap on everybody.
I think it was a more friendly version of World of Warcraft at the time because World of Warcraft was a completely different.
Because this was also before PvP came out.
Right.
Once PvP came out, it died.
Right. But I think the big thing about that was that you had multiple skills that you could. Everyone figured out different ways of going about playing the game, but you had different skills that you could max out at 99. Wish there were ways to get past 99 now or something like that. But so I think the technical highest level in the game, if you max everything out at 99, is 126.
Yeah.
And because they had really janky scaling and stuff like that. But anyways, so you go around traveling the whole area. You'd be a wood cutting fiend. You can go fishing, smithing.
You can make it your own thing. You can make it whatever you want it to.
And then like that it also like they were really smart about like crafting the items, because if you wanted to be able to like, oh, I'm just gonna make all the swords and stuff like that, but then you realize in order to do that you need really good mining. But then you're like, I just want to smelt it and just work on my smelting. Well, then your buddy can do all the mining and then you can do all the smelting, and then like half the time is saved.
Oh yeah.
Or like also you had to there's different kinds of magic, and then prayers. Prayers was like the hardest thing to level up.
Because the only way that you could level it up was burying bones.
Yeah, and then there's like there's a couple other things.
There were a couple of quests.
But they were very like obscure.
It was the only thing you could do for non-members. If you were a fancy, you could shell out that money.
And then they eventually came out with like houses that you could have
the construction on members only.
Yeah. My brother was a member for a while, so I played on his account, and we were working on that together. And so that was my thing, was I just want to build a house, which kind of leads me towards Sims now, because it's also PC. Mm-hmm. So the original Sims was awesome, and every Sims iteration is like even better. They keep coming out with more and more expansions for the newest one, which I can't keep up with. I honestly couldn't care less for them, but I do respect them for doing that. But I'm not going to spend extra dollars. So that way I can have a animal
mermaid
or a mermaid or whatever running around. But it's pretty funny on how you can spend your hours having someone else do actual work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's like there was a roller coaster game that was on
Roller
the PC.
Coaster Tycoon.
Was it that one?
There's only one that I can think of.
No, it wasn't that one. It was like a Sims. Was there a Sim City?
There's probably
it might have been a Sim
like or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I never played any of the Sims. Roller Coaster Tycoon was the bomb though.
Yeah, I need to get on that.
Because I remember there was like different theme parks that you could make. And one was you can make one that was just like a normal one. Then you made one that was more safari. Then you made one that was like a haunted, like ghost one. Is that the same one?
I think you could. I believe so.
No. Then there's like a space one. That was like the main thing. I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm gonna look this up if you guys can.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I only have 2 more games left on my list, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say a little bit about RuneScape while he's looking that up. For me, RuneScape was the first MMO that I played. Like for so long, it was like a new era for me.
Yeah,
almost.
It was just and I'm just me, just playing, and then it turned out to be.
And I'm sure it was for a lot of other people too.
Oh yeah.
But it was like you almost had to learn a whole other skill set. Like you were playing the game, but you also had this other element of actually being social with other random people that you didn't know online.
It was weird because when I was at that age, I still wasn't fluent in being able to type while you were doing something. While I was doing something, so I kind of got the hang of being able to type shorthand while still moving around with my mouse. And the only thing that I had a problem with RuneScape, and it's not even that big of a problem, was where you had to click to move.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
no. Sometimes it could be janky because sometimes you want to get to that little spot in the a castle or something, and then you accidentally click out of it, and your guy just force runs out of there.
Yeah, especially when you have run on.
Oh yeah.
I think this is it.
But my whole thing is with the RuneScape. They came out with that new version of RuneScape. That's no longer the old school. It's not, the one that we're talking about is the current old school RuneScape.
Yes.
The pixelated, the no voices, nothing.
Enough people liked it that they made that they've remade how it was in the past, so people could.
And they even put it on an app.
Again.
Like that just shows how far our technology has now come. Was that we thought that was a pretty hard game to run on your computer.
Oh no.
Now it's run on your phone.
Nope.
And it's
actually I was gonna say that's a good thing about RuneScape is because you didn't have to have a fancy PC to run it.
Exactly.
Like, it did seem impressive at the time, but it wasn't gonna brick any family PC either if you ran it.
Okay, I was making sure that I didn't have any.
As opposed to me bricking when I tried playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like our old PC.
Don't get me wrong. I kind of want to try the new RuneScape just to see how different
just
it is.
to compare, yeah.
But I think the old school will probably just be consistently my favorite. I mean, I still have an account on it. I know you do. What does it say?
Planetary Star Online was my first
MMO, probably.
MMO, yeah. Although that was more of a mini multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't really know what.
I don't think I've heard that one. No.
Fantasy Star.
Yeah.
I think the one that I was thinking of was Thrillville.
Thrillville. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. Fantasy Star Online was the first MMO.
Final Fantasy 11. Okay.
Dang it! I was gonna get towards there. Stop it. Okay. I was gonna drop back to PlayStation, and I was gonna say.
Okay.
What is that?
Fantasy Star Online.
You just looked up Fantasy Star.
Yeah, it looks like it's. Was it turn-based? I'm guessing it was probably turn-based.
So I was gonna drop back to PlayStation, and I was gonna say, Final Fantasy VII for me was really big.
Yep.
That was a big game, so big that it required 4 discs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you get through one thing and you decide to move on, you had to make sure you completed everything on the first disc, okay? Because then once you go to the second disc, you can't do it anymore. So you had saved everything, and then you popped in the second one, beat everything on the second one. And there is so much to do, because everyone had their own items to get. And you had, let's see here, you had Cloud Tifa, Aerith, Vincent, Barrett, Red 13, I can't remember the cat, Sid, and I think 1 or 2 more. I think it had either 8 or 9 characters, and they all had their own, like, tons of items that they needed to get that were specialized for them. Because Barrett was the only one that could have guns, right? And then Cloud was the only one that could have, like, the Buster Great Swords and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That and, like, the animations and stuff like that.
Oh, so it was real-time 4-player co-op. Okay.
Oh.
That was cool. It was hard on the Dreamcast 36K modem. Oh, sounds like it.
Yeah. But like, there was a lot to do in it, and it was a very big world, and the story was really, really good. It's probably one of the reasons why they made a movie out of it and all that other stuff. You know, and the monsters that they created were awesome. They did all the Final Fantasy games have great monsters, like just nice little skews to them. But that goes without saying. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, like he said. 10 was cool because you could do like underwater, like volleyball crap. Yeah.
Okay.
And each Final Fantasy, although it's part of the series, has a completely different storyline. Like they're separate from their own universes, unless you're talking about like 13, 13-2 and all that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's other PlayStation games. I remember playing Crash Bandicoot.
My brother played a little bit of that. Spyro, I heard, was a good game. I just never really played it.
Exactly the same.
I do know that one big game that we're all missing, I played endless hours, basically, on this game. Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When that came out, I did not play any other game.
Red, orange, yellow, blue. No.
Red,
green.
Green, red. Yellow, blue, orange.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I could never play expert because I couldn't figure out how to move my hand.
How to get to
I finally got to the orange.
Now I'll be all like, why am I retarded? Yeah, rhythm games started coming out. That was pretty interesting. So, did you guys really have any PlayStation 2 games? Because I don't think you guys grew up with it.
My first PlayStation was a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, right. Same. And I mean, I literally, up until I got a 360, all I had was GameCube and Wii.
For the PlayStation games, I think the only other PlayStation games I can think of were actually across both consoles. So so I'll just jump to Xbox then.
All right, I don't have any Xbox on mine.
None.
Well, it's all across different.
Across.
Yeah, it's all across.
Halo.
Halo was on my list. Took it off. But it was only Halo 3 that was on my list.
I like the entire series of Halo except for the
I
latest.
started on Halo 3, so and I just played the crap out of that game. I remember all the levels and everything.
I originally played the first Halo when it came out in 2001. So I was around 6 at the time, and I was holding my own and kicking everyone else's ass and playing Legendary with a controller that was much too big for me. Like, because I remember our buddy who had the Xbox, his name was Matt. He had, like, the bigger size controllers. Because, like, you can get normal size, then you get the big ones.
Oh, wow.
Like, the extra large ones. Played that. I absolutely loved Halo, and then I just crushed it. I absolutely loved it. I would go head-to-head with my brother, and we would also bring our Xbox over to other people's Xboxes and then do the system link and then have big multiplayer battles. And he also had to bring over your TVs.
Oh, that was the hype back in the day.
Yeah.
LAN parties.
Yeah, LAN parties. And then, let's see here. Also, like, the story with the multiplayer is awesome. I mean, you liked Reach a lot as well.
Loved Reach.
Reach is awesome.
Can't wait for it to come out on PC at some point.
I got pretty good at Halo growing up.
See, the game that I'm talking about, though, it was in high school when I started playing it, and when it came out. Finally got the 360, played with Alex and Timmy multiple times. This was the point where school nights we stayed up till 3 a.m. before we Black Ops.
Yes.
That was my first dose of Call of Duty. Haven't really kept the lingering love for the series.
Well,
but Black Ops itself.
That's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
It wasn't after Black Ops.
It was after Black Ops 3.
No, well, I'm just saying though, like, so Black Ops came out, and then a couple of years later they came out with another Call of Duty, and then that's when it was year after year after year after year with Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
Instead of at least a couple of years.
And so now this new one that's coming out, though, they've waited for a year or two for this one, but I don't know if I'll actually do it.
I think my favorite thing about playing a Call of Duty game on PC is I get to turn my brain off and I just do reaction stuff. But if Halo comes out on PC, goodbye Call of Duty, because I'm just going to do SWAT all day.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say something else?
No, he didn't. It was fine.
Man.
But zombies, that was a big thing, and multiplayer.
Because it was new and it was unique.
Yeah, and then the multiplayer, like, that was the first time I'd actually gotten... And the thing is, I only went up to First Prestige. I didn't want to start over again after the First Prestige.
Which... It's interesting that when these games come out, that they, every time when a newer version of a game come out, so it would be like zombies, then nowadays everyone copies.
But see, the thing
Fortnite was originally made as like a fight against the horde game. Like the actual base game is defend against the zombies. But then the free-to-play mode was actually the better game, and that's the one that exploded instead of the other one, which they weren't expecting.
See, my whole thing is, even Black Ops wasn't the first game to have the zombies.
No, it was World at War?
World at War,
yes.
And all you had was Nacht der Toten.
Yeah.
Was the map.
I think they had a few expansions after, but that was the base.
I think that was the only one they
had. They had other maps, but the only way you can get to those other maps is if you cleared, seriously, beat the crap out of Nacht der Toten. I think there was only 2 other maps. I think. I might be wrong.
But see, then you had the new maps coming out for Black Ops. So you had Kino, you had a throwback to Nacht.
Yeah.
You had the 5, you had Shangri-La. You had
Ascension.
It was insane, but it was so good.
It kept going. Yeah, and I think they pride themselves on the zombie mode because they started it.
And they killed it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some other things. So another big game for me was Fable from Xbox.
Yeah, Zach enjoyed
Never got to play that.
So Fable was extremely like, choose which side you want to be. You can be extremely good or you can be extremely evil. Mm-hmm. And like the thing is, it's actually really hard to be good, believe it or not, because you can like make little mistakes, and then when you make the little mistake, it ends up like the spiraling downwards.
It snowballs down. Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, I'm not 100% pure, so everyone's going to die." I accidentally kicked a chicken. We're all gonna die. Yeah. So and it was also really cool because you could specialize your character to be a very like strength guy, or he can be more of like a ranger archery style, or you could go into the vast amount of magic that they had. They actually had so much magic that back then with all the different kinds of spells that it was overpowered. So they're like, we're gonna limit this. So the other Fable games, I felt like because they limited it in certain ways, they kind of distinguished it, but the stories to the Fable games were always really good. Eventually, like, one was you could actually run a whole kingdom after capitalizing on it, and then you had to debate whether or not you would be like a tyrant or not. But there's a reason for being like a tyrant, because you would save more people in a way, retrospectively, because you would make more money and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But in order to like not be a tyrant, you'd have to find a way to manipulate the economy to make sure everyone would be okay. So it was like it was always hard decisions every time you go. Fable was pretty good on me. And then I also mentioned to the guys earlier before the show started, there was a game on Xbox called Fusion's Frenzy, which was basically like a Mario Party on Xbox, which I enjoyed a lot. Yeah. You guys have any other Xbox games?
Not really.
You should have one.
Oh, I do. Well, still in the Call of Duty line, Modern Warfare 2.
Yes, but you should have another one.
Gears.
Yeah. I did enjoy Gears. I had a friend in high school that pretty much every weekend I would go over and play Gears 2. And we probably cleared that campaign like at least 5 times over. Because we just enjoyed playing it over and over.
Who'd you play with?
There's a friend that went to Kennesaw Mountain. I don't think any of you know him, but
I gotcha.
Then I think there was one more, for me at least.
For Xbox?
Yeah. Getting into the games was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
yes.
Because of that multiplayer.
A lot of good times online.
So much fun because we would have stun parties.
I remember advocating the first Assassin's Creed to Anthony back in high school, and then after he got into it, it felt like a lot of other people got into it.
I got into it because my little brother, and this is so weird because normally it's the other way around. My little brother got the first 2 games, so it was Assassin's Creed 1 and 2.
Full Spectrum Warrior was an interesting Xbox game. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Xbox had such a wide and diverse, because it was run by Microsoft.
Sequel would be nice.
Sequel would be nice. Yeah. Xbox is such a diverse company. Well, Microsoft is that they had such a variety, and that they had so much variety that some games were really left in the dust and never got to be fully explored. But as you were saying about Assassin's Creed.
But I mean, so at the time, Brotherhood had just come out. So I bought all. My brother bought the 1 and 2, and then I bought Brotherhood because that was the third game of the installment. So I played through Brotherhood, got 100% on that game. lost all of my achievements in memory because I had to switch over my accounts, unfortunately.
Right.
Which was terrible.
That's exactly what happened to me on
because
Halo.
I literally had 100% found all the feathers, found all the pieces of armor that you had to find.
Mm-hmm.
It was annoying, but we would get on. We would have a full team of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood players for multiplayer.
Yeah.
And we would just have these stun parties where we would just surround a single person that we knew was on the opposite team, and until the other team killed us, we would just keep on knocking them out because they couldn't kill any of us if we were all there just spamming B to just knock them out, and we would win on defense just because we got more points by stunning them.
Right. Like, I envy your team play.
And it was really funny because on offense we all had our certain aspects that we liked doing.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely, I think, Alex, were you the one that
poisons or something?
Poisoned? I can't remember.
I thought that was like either a Timmy or a Marcus thing.
Timmy was just the defensive dude. He didn't care. He just wanted to stun people.
I think I was just the offensive dude. So
yeah, you kind of just ran at people.
I didn't. I mean, I just had a good sense of. I was a lot better on offense than on defense. I trusted Timmy's instinct more on defense, but I knew.
I just know I did the weapons expert. I was the one that was shooting off guns, hitting people with throwing knives, that kind of thing. So it was just fun.
When I was playing it though, I tried to be the best at at least when I was playing was like very casual walk-bys, and then this is dead.
And I mean, the thing is, it's like I really kind of wish that they would come up with a way to bring the Brotherhood multiplayer kind of back into the realm.
Yeah.
They're not going to.
No, they're not. It sucks.
And it got worse with Revelations. It wasn't as bad as 4, though. 4's multiplayer that one's rough. Mm-hmm. But Brotherhood was the best overall because you had a level cap. Everybody was on the same playing field. You didn't have like these modifiers that you could get.
I just felt like the multiplayer community just wasn't that big.
Yeah, but now, after the fact, it's growing still, which is funny. Rainbow Six 3,
Ghost Recon were great online for Xbox. Yeah, I also enjoyed the Rainbow Six series. Those were really good. I also like the Splinter Cell series on Xbox. I don't know if you guys have ever played any of those.
I've heard of it.
They were spy games, basically, and you played it. The main character's name is Sam Fisher, and he has his own unique storyline. They keep coming up more and more Splinter Cells. I think the latest one was the last couple of years ago was Blacklist. I had it. I don't think I ever beat that one. But yeah, like it was the game to use the silenced pistol. You also, the big thing though was like the goggles, because you had like night vision, or you swapped it to thermal, or you swapped it to whatever, and or like to electrical, to where you could actually see where like electrical lines would follow. And the whole game is you breaking into various places, sneaking around, getting information, killing certain targets if you have to. You actually don't have to kill anybody. I think you can do a whole pacifist run if you're really, really good. But it just depends.
So it's just all tactics. It's tactical.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that game. And then you also can customize which guns that you take in. You can go loud and like fight your way through, but
just say screw it.
It is
you
hard.
get pissed at an area after trying 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, like they can kill you as easily as you can kill them. So, and the various gadgets and stuff that you get throughout the campaign is really cool too. So it's like another 007. But I think I appreciate Splinter Cell much more just because it's more of a stealth sneaking around than James Bond, doing his thing.
Chaos Theory
had...
And co-op 2-player story, it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh.
Chaos Theory. I play Chaos Theory as well. And I know I played Chaos Theory. I played the second one, I think. But yeah. Is there any other Xbox games?
The only other one I can think of, and I didn't play it until I had the 360 for just regular Xbox. It was before EA started doing the whole money grabbing thing. And basically it was the original Star Wars Battlefront
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With Galactic Conquest.
Yeah, they had Star Wars Battlefront. They had Battlefront 2. I
Battlefront
enjoyed both
2
of them.
was really good.
Yeah, in Battlefront 2, you could use the Jedi. Like, you can actually... There was a game mode where you literally can exclusively run around with
heroes versus villains, yeah.
It's awesome. Just run around with General Grievous. Best thing ever. General Grievous, Darth Maul.
Darth Maul was my favorite to play.
Yeah.
Darth Maul on the Sith, and then Obi-Wan on the...
Yoda.
Yoda was ridiculous.
That troll level.
Some people couldn't hit him because he's so tiny.
He's so small.
Like, they would, like, do horizontal attacks that go right over his head, and then he would do his little flippy shit.
It's like playing Oddjob in GoldenEye.
Right. It really is. Man. And, yeah, Battlefront, I had a lot of fun. Ooh. What's the name? Star Wars Republic Commando.
Republic Commando was good.
That was such a good
really good
game. I loved the story to that. The ending is heart-wrenching because some things happen. Mm-hmm. And you're all like, I like these people so much.
I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm hoping that this new one coming out is going to be alright.
There's another one?
Yeah, there's a new one coming out.
Is it going to be a remake or is it going to be a sequel?
It's a new concept. It's
From Software, had a few games on Xbox as well. Forget the name. Ninja Gaiden as well. Or is that Ninja Gaiden? That might be auto. Yeah. So Ninja Gaiden was super hard. But as you're saying.
But this new one is literally during the Order 66.
Oh yeah, you were mentioning.
Yeah. And you're just a new Jedi going around with.
Yeah.
Rebellious clone troopers.
Is it sad that I think that the stormtroopers and stuff like that have more interesting like stories and stuff than the Jedi?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I want to play.
Commander Cody is one of my favorite. People.
I want to play as clones, man. That's what I want to do. I also appreciate like Rex and a couple other guys from the series. All the Star Wars. Then there's Knights of the Old Republic.
That was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like a full online?
Knights of the Old Republic.
There was an Old Republic game.
I don't know if it was entirely online. I can't remember, but anyways.
And then I remember Marvel Ultimate Alliance as well on Xbox, but that wasn't too terribly big in my childhood.
Of course, we had various Mortal Kombats. I think my favorite Mortal Kombat was 9.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That was just like it really kicked itself back up. They did a really good job. 10 was okay. I appreciated it for what it was. They also introduced like a lot of horror characters, which Will hated going against me when I was Alien. Because I'd crawl around all over the place. He's like, stop it!
That was almost as bad as Scarecrow in Injustice 2.
Oh, yeah. I love playing Scarecrow in the Injustice games. Like, just fucking hook people. You had such a hard time getting in with that.
Yeah, it was rough because, I mean, they made it so that you had to grind in order to make your character good.
Batman games, the Arkham series.
I haven't played them yet.
Any of them?
I want to. That's
it. We'll add it to the list.
The ever-growing list.
The ever-growing list of Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Are there any other key games that you felt like in your life were really big, no matter what console it was? So we even got Game Boy games. You know?
Yeah, I know. I remember there was a Super Mario Brothers game. I can't even remember what the name was.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
You're fine. Just watch Wire.
But a Super Mario Brothers game, I can't remember what it was called, but you were playing as both Mario and Luigi at the same time, and it was a Game Boy Advance game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you weren't going against technically Bowser. You were going against a different witch. That was kind of like a grown-up version of the one with the glasses. I can't remember.
Oh, right.
Or Malik or something like that.
No, I can't remember their names.
Either way, it was like a bigger version of that. And she stole Princess Peach, and she was trying to.
Of course.
She was trying to suck the youth out of Princess Peach. Okay. It was a little bit different. She actually wasn't like just kidnapping her. It was like she was going to do something bad.
Right.
But it was weird because like you had points in time where Luigi would jump on your shoulders, and you were still controlling both of them, and he'd put his arms out, and you'd jump up, and you'd press A again, and you'd spin like a helicopter and try and get to certain places. So it was a cool dynamic.
Right.
I just can't remember what the name of that thing was called.
And then there was Dynasty Warriors.
Never played Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors was like over the top. Like you literally had whole armies, and how well your army did was dependent on how like where you're fighting and who you're supporting. And it also gave you you had to make a lot of decisions in terms of because like certain generals would show up because your army would go where you would go for the most part. He says, are you talking about the game when Mario and Luigi are in a dream?
I think. I have no clue, Ben. It's one of the... God, I can't even remember. I'm going to have to look it up.
But anyways... Wait, I was talking about... Dynasty Wars. So, like, some other generals and stuff like that would appear, and you would have to make a decision of which general to focus down. Hey, dude.
Okay, so it was Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
Oh yeah, it was a Mario RPG. I liked that one.
And
that was for the DS, right?
No.
No,
this was the original for the Game Boy Advance. It wasn't an RPG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was literally you were controlling both Mario and Luigi.
And I was talking
all together at the same time.
I was talking about Dynasty Warriors. I don't know if you were...
I played one of the Samurai Warrior games, which I think is in the same series.
Yeah. And then, what was it? The Mario Sonic Olympics?
Mario Sonic Olympic games are always great.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for the new one coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shadow the Hedgehog was just
is that the game
that was
Mario
talking about
Luigi are in the dream?
He already asked.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're
good. You're good. So, what was the very first game, if you can remember, playing?
My first game. First game playing.
I think mine.
Ben only played Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, it's like a version of Dynasty Warriors, except it's just people from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. God.
I think mine is probably an N64 game.
Mine's definitely an N64
I think
game.
I think it might have been Mortal Kombat. Like,
really?
No. It might be Mario 64.
Mine was, I think, Mario 64.
It might be Mario 64, Mario Kart. It could have been Mortal Kombat, and it also could have been Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
No, I know for sure. Mine was Mario 64.
Yeah.
Because that was the only game I had for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't beaten it.
The original Sims is up there too, but actually, no, never mind. Yeah.
Well, I already said it, but mine was for sure Super Mario World.
Super Mario World?
Yeah. I can never forget that frustration of knowing what I wanted to do, but not being coordinated enough to hit the buttons at the right time.
I also remember, like, growing up, going to the bowling alley. My parents would go bowling every week. I would go hit up Galaga.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Galaga was always a really fun game.
Yeah.
But it always sucked when you're trying to do a handheld because it
chucking in quarters to play an arcade game.
Yeah, now you just have cards.
Which costs so much more. Yeah, now instead of paying $25 or 50 cents for a game, you're just throwing down $2 for something that's only going to last you 5 minutes.
Yeah. If that.
If that.
It's good money making.
Yeah, I think it's interesting how stuff went down. And then you also got like Pong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was never really good at the old school games. Actually, I'm pretty sure my parents could probably kick my ass in quite a few of those, even since they haven't even played. But it's interesting to see how games have ended up now, because now we are just now stepping foot into VR. Which we've been doing some Beat Saber at our friend Timmy's, and that game is awesome. Like,
it's crazy fun.
It's a rhythm game for people who don't know, and it's when you're using the virtual reality headset. So you're wearing your goggles, and then you also have 2 sets of motion controls.
Yeah.
Similar to like the Switch or the Wii or whatever. And except it's a lot more intuitive, and there's
no lag.
There's no lag, and you really feel like you're there. You can look around the room, and it's completely different from what reality is. Mm-hmm. Also, I made the realization that I had no hands or arms or body. I would scream it out. I don't have a body.
We were floating lights.
Yeah, we were floating lights. It was pretty cool. And I think I posted a little video of Alex and Will.
Yes.
Yeah,
on Facebook.
I was going like this.
Yes, I also have another one of you.
I didn't know if you posted that one.
I posted it, that I had to take it off because I posted it under my name instead of Talking SWBZ. Mm. But anyways, so I think that's going to be just about wrapping it up, right? So
yeah.
What time are we at?
We're at 1:52.
Okay. So once again, thank you everyone who came by to watch live on stream, and then for those who are watching on YouTube, hello.
Hi.
What would be a good thing for them to comment about? Comment about what you think is your first video game,
and what your most favorite childhood game that got you in,
and what console was most influential on you growing up.
Yeah, like what you played most of. So follow us on Facebook, Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and of course Twitch.
Yes. And it's all under Talking SWBZ.
All under Talking SWBZ.
Which SWBZ is SWBZ, by the way. And I think that just about wraps everything up.
Yep. And leave a like if you like what we're doing.
All that good stuff.
If you're on YouTube, subscribe.
Spread the word.
We're trying to grow here.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.